Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a brand new season of Midori's Midnight Sessions. Wow! Season 4, guys! How do I say this? There's a lot of things that we need to talk about. And this is so crazy. I never thought I would be bringing back this podcast once more. But we have a twist. For the first time in the history of this podcast, we'll be speaking in a mix of English and Filipino. Yes, mga ante, magtatagalog na si bakla. Kaya, ihanda ang inyong mga sarili. It's gonna be the same old, unfiltered person. Ayoko magbula! But it's gonna be the same old, unfiltered, candid stories that this podcast has been known for. Known for? It's still the same old. They are stories from my own experiences. Sometimes they can be emotions. Sometimes they can be feelings. Pwede ring mga bagay-bagay na nasa utak ko lately. And for our season premiere, we'll talk about the thesis once again. Kasi you know too much, okay? But there was one particular thing that I never thought I would be actually encountering for the first time in I don't know how many years it has been. Ngayon, I've been sitting on it for the past few days now, hoping that somehow it will ebb the tide, slow the flow. Kaso wala. And as you all know, I have a lot of things to do still for this project. But my turning point, or rather our turning point, is last Saturday. So I met someone basically that agreed to participate sa study ko, and it was just so surreal. It's like a positive surreal and a negative surreal kind of thing. Kasi ang participants sa study ko ay reporters. And as you all know, if you go back to season 2 episode 1 of this podcast on our season premiere, then it was about trauma, right? Stemming from an experience that I've had. And I have been thinking about that ever since. So this is how it goes. This person I'll call them Claude, cause that's the pseudonym. I decided to give them pseudonyms that are named after the characters na ginawa ko for this kind of fantasy world na ginawa ko. The series is called Behind Every Story. Pero di ko siya inaano. Pero yung mundo kasi na yun is about journalists and like how they go on their day-to-day work. And ayun, na pagdesisyonan ko na kunin yung mga pseudonyms nila from the characters that I have made for the world. Parang kumbaga nag-world building pa ako doon. And Claude, the character Claude is sweet, very, very kind, assertive. How else do I describe him? He's a baker, yeah. But more than that, I think he has a very good heart. Na, ang ano lang niya. Super bait niya. Ganun yun. And I did give my other two participants their pseudonyms based on different characters. But Claude kasi in the universe, in the newsroom na where Behind Every Story is set, parang isa siya sa mga resource persons. And he frequently interacts with the main characters, especially yung pinaka main character. And parang nagkapalagayan sila ng loob. And parang I would say na magiging close sila over the course of the story. Parang ganun yung ano niya. Ganun yung siste. And I don't know. I really like the name Claude eh. I really liked it. Kasi the way that I thought of like the origin of his name, yung taxonomy niya, is that Claude is named after Claude Debussy, who is the composer of Clair de Lune. Parang, yung kasi yung favorite song ng nanay niya nung pinaglihi siya. So, it was kind of second nature that she'd name her son after the composer of the song that she loved so much. That's how Claude came to life. And I have loved making new characters, storylines, headcanons, like how I think they look like or their personalities are. It's just so fun to imagine these kinds of scenarios, and I would be inspired by a lot of stuff that I see every day. News, maybe not news, sometimes they can be random tweets or random Facebook posts, whatever. But going back to the task at hand, it was a really nerve-wracking day. So So think of me as the main character of behind every story. Her name is Kat. Full name Catherine, pero Kat na lang. Think of me as Kat. She knows what she does, and ano din siya. May pagka-strong personality din siya because she's an ex-detective. Yun yung backstory niya. Bago siya naging reporter. And I'm nervous. Okay. Meeting Claude, the person. Not the character. Like, meeting Claude was just like so fun. Pero, like, there's a storyline kasi sa behind every story. It's a 5-episode arc. I'm thinking of it as a 5-episode arc na Cat. Okay, I need to add the trigger warning pala dito because this is gonna talk about a lot of sensitive topics and especially sexual assault. So there will be a trigger warning on this episode. I think I've issued like multiple trigger warnings, but ito yung I think ito yung pinamalala. But Kat was like, it's been years, ha? So, after, like, fresh of resigning and nakakuha na siya ng trabaho doon sa newsroom. So, she's like a senior reporter na nun. Kasi may adequate experience na rin siya in law enforcement and it really helped her. But there was a time na hinalay siya ng now ex-CEO ng network. And this was like full on years later na biglang nag-surface yung emosyon niya. Biglang nag-resurface yung nararamdaman niya about the whole thing. And so she comes into the station. Or rather, she comes into her best friend, Maggie. So Maggie is a fellow reporter and she's been her best friend. She's been Kat's best friend like long before siya naging reporter. So, nung mga detective days pa lang ni Kat, they're already best friends. And she basically confided, Kat basically confided to Maggie na yun nga yung nangyari sa kanya. And parang naalala niya lahat. That's what happened eh. Somehow it mirrored the story na ginawa ko. I never thought it would become a reality. And I was thinking like, nahihiya ako. One of the key storylines na meron si Kat doon sa particular arc din is that she grapples with a lot of shame. And that's what happened. Sure, I could have I think I did a good job. Can you blame me? I think I did. But at the same time, I felt like I was regressing. And I was self-aware. I was aware of every single thing that I was doing throughout the entire thing. Even bago pa simula yung interview proper. You don't know how nervous I was. Kasi one of the things that I was thinking was I don't want to do it. Like, I mean, ayoko mag-trauma dump. Yun yung dun. Ayoko kasi ang unfair. Ang unfair doon sa kabila, hindi naman ako masyadong kilala. Tapos biglang, bugsh. Mag-i-explain lang ako eh. Yun lang dapat yun. Mag-i-explain lang ako. Ang ending, hindi ako makatingin. That's number 1. Hindi ko makain yung ramen na kinakain ko. Pangalawa. Pangatlo would be like, nayo ko na lang ako minsan. There are some occasions na nayo ko na lang ako. But that was before the interview happened. And then, after, I just full on buried myself. Like, I just did. Like, tinitignan ko lang, like, yung stains nung lamesa. Inupuan na kaharap ko. Nakaubob lang ako. And I was really, really struggling to like look at Claude. And I know it's been nearly a week since it happened, but I still think about it. It still bothers my mind. And it's just so strange, I guess, how visceral everything was. To the point where when I decided to like just go home, kahit na dapat may bibilhin pa ako. Pero sabi ko wag na. Kasi grabe. Parang hindi ko na kaya. I wouldn't say na walang akong lakas. I was just so spent that I couldn't go any further than to just go home. I just wanted to go home. Kasi part of it talaga, na-excited akong bumili ng strings ng gitara. Kasi magre-record pa ako ng bagong kanta. Magko-compose pa ako. O ayan na, may sign na. Ayan na, may spoiler na. Wag na kayo mag-aano. Bahala na kung sino makapanood. Charot. Pero anyway, sa tren, pauwi na kami. Kasabay kami. I felt like I just shrank. Like, alam niyo yung posisyon ko. Like, nakayakap ako sa bag ko. Hawak ko yung phone ko. Nakatingin lang ako sa gilid. Kasi, I was near the door. Nakatingin lang ako sa gilid. Hindi ko na alam kung nasaan na kami. Tapos ang dami pang mga lalaki sa harap ko. May lalaki pa sa katabi ko. Pero, like, kahit ano lang, I was so fragile. Although, yes, sabihin na natin, walang penetration, but the fragility of it was so deeply felt that I just couldn't shake it off. It's been days, I know, but I still couldn't shake it off. Thank God, like, the day is nearly ending and I haven't cried today. Because the past few days, I really, really was just randomly crying. Random times. And I would just sob in my room, lying down. But I think the most painful was in the immediate few hours after I got home. Kaso wala sila, mama, umalis sila. Mag-isa ako sa kwarto, as expected. And I was wearing the same nightgown that I was wearing the last time it happened. And for a little bit of context, go to episode 9 na sa YouTube. If you want more details about the thesis, go to season 2, episode 1. Like, nung ano talaga, suot ko yun. Sabi ko kasi, gusto kong, I wanna honor her. Sabi ko. And I just, like, nakahiga lang sa kama nun. And then, like, I just cried. Hard. Like, it wasn't like full-on cries. It was just, I mean, it wasn't sobs. It was full-on cries. It was, like, pained and anguished screams. It was like my teenage self realized for the first time that she was hurting all along, and she just couldn't shake it off. And nasasaktan siya for the current me. Kasi lahat ng yun kinailangan niyang dalhin. And I even said, I'm just 24. How could I have just so much pain at such a young age? Like, it's just utterly sad. To the point na pauwi na ako ng bahay. Nasa jeep na ako. And they couldn't hear my voice. My voice was so low. My voice was just so low. And it felt like silence. It felt like whispers. And I had to sit with that fragility, that vulnerability, for like the second portion of that train home. And I kept crying and crying. The next few days, buti nga ngayon, wala eh. Pero ramdam yung sakit eh. Ramdam nung self ko na yun, na masakit. na ngayon niya lang nararamdaman yung sakit. And this is just so unfortunately common. You don't see this on the news. Like, mine is an extremely complicated case, to say the least. I mean, right? It's just really hard to comprehend. You can say that there's no penetration, but I was screaming. You could say that, I was helpless, but I did try to fight. And hindi naman yung It's really, I know it's hard to talk about. It's not easy. Like, it is never easy to talk about this kind of experience. And I don't know how to write, like, how to put this into words, to put it into writing. Although I could say I'm a damn good writer. Pero yung sakit, it's incomprehensible. Like, to a certain point, kaya mo matago eh. To a certain point, you could just pretend that it's not there. But in reality, it is. It's just lurking at the back. It's just waiting to spook you at a moment's notice. And siguro, like, my psyche got tired of feeling unheard. Kaya yun yung ending. Na-explore niya lahat kahit di niya naman plano. Because she really had a desire to be heard. She really wanted to be listened to. For the first time, naramdaman ko now na panahon na pa mabuhay. It's tiring to survive every day. You don't even know you're surviving. Parang ang ano mo lang is you just want to crawl, get through the next day, tapos na. And it just keeps on going and going and going until you can't really hide it anymore. And so it just flows out like a dam, like a flood that's just rushing through. Na ito yung mga bagay na tinago mo kahit sa sarili mo for a long, long time. Like, sana man lang it helps na people would listen to the entire podcast, the entire thing. Not just the thesis arc, not just, me talking about my teachers or kind of backstabbing them. But this is the reality, unfortunately. That there will be times when the pain might become too much, that it just bursts out of you and demands to be felt. And when you feel it, and when it asks that, you have to receive that graciously and listen to it. you know? Kahit umupo ka lang dyan, kahit mang bedrat ka dyan, bahala ka. How you process it is up to you. But the thing is, it's really just a reminder of the past. The question is, anong gagawin mo dun? Diba? How would you use it so that it does good to you? And ngayon, oo, sige. I still feel shame. I do. I would probably still deliberately try to distance myself from a lot of things most of the time. I still do that. But I also think that there are feelings inside us that deserve to be heard. Na wag mong babaliwalain. At mas lalong wag mong itatago. Don't repress it. Because when you do, it is just a lot of emotions to process at once. Trust me on this. It will make you shrink. It will make you scared to be seen. It will make you fragile, most of all. But again, it is up to you what you'll do with it. It is up to you kung uupo ka lang ba dun. You try to process it the way that you can. Or, well, pwede naman. Or will you sit with it and then use it to do good to other people? To be a president? To get people talking? Na yung like trauma is not just wailing and just distress na nakikita nyo sa balita. Hindi. Sure, we can cry. Sure, we can feel angry, feel the pain. Sometimes you can dissociate, like I do. Sometimes it can be repressed because we have to survive. But more than that, these feelings have to be felt. They demand to be felt. And when they do, let's accept it. Let's be graceful with it. And maybe, just maybe, we can do something about it. What it is up to you. But you also have to consider kung maganda ba may dudulot nito if I ever use it for a good cause. And if it is, please, we need to get people talking about this. And getting over trauma is not easy. I swear. I wish it was. But I also understand that not all might be ready to get over. I mean, I'm still not over, like, the whole thing. And I don't even like the term survivor, because I'm not. I still feel like I'm there. I still feel like I'm here, because it is in this place where I'm recording it now, is the place where it happened. I'm still here. I never left. But the most important thing is, let her be heard. Let your past self be heard. And let that pain demand to be felt. Napakabigat ng episode na to. Buti nga hindi ako umiyak. Pero ito ang realidad eh. I'm just talking about it because now it feels a little easier to talk about than the past few days. Pero sana sa kwento ko, kung may makikinig man nito at napagdaanan nila or pinagdadaanan nila yung pinagdadaanan ko ngayon, sana makinig sila at sana hayaan nilang maramdaman nila yung mga tinatago nilang yung mga repressed emotions na meron tayo. Let that be felt when it demands to be felt. Para hindi na tayo masaktan, para maghilom na rin yung mga sugat na di natin akalain nandun pa rin. Na hindi natin akalain sariwa pa pala. Kahit ilang taon nang makalipas, kahit ang dami mo nang ginawa ng mga bagay sa mundo, pero nandun pa rin yung sakit. Nandun pa rin yung lungkot, yung awa sa sarili mo. When it demands to be felt, please feel them all. And let that reminder of the past serve as a path for a future where you're healed, where you're safe, where you're protected, where you don't have to worry about things that would scare you now. Para malaya ka na. And I also say this to my younger self. Para makalaya ka na sa gapos ng iyong mga nakaraan. At maraming salamat sa pakikinig sa ating season premiere ng Midori's Midnight Sessions. At sana ay magpatuloy pa tayong makinig sa mga susunod na episodes. I'll see you guys next time.